One more side note. Sorry. I wanted to say this because it's related to like books and stuff. And I already told you about this, but I just watched the show We Were Liars, which is based off of the book. I don't know if I've ever been so traumatized in my life. That was so bad.
You were traumatized, yes.
I was texting Alexis throughout it and she didn't know what I was talking about, but I was like, I am not okay.
Okay, this is reading between the lines. We're both emotionally unstable, but that's okay because we're doing it together. So go team.
So in this episode, we're going to talk about who we would rather see redeemed, Dain or Jack from the Fourth Wing series.
I feel like this is so funny because the fact that I am siding with Jack Barlowe, guys, if you've listened to any of our Fourth Wing episodes, I hate that man with all of my guts, okay? But I hate Dain more. There's just something about Dain that I'm like, I can't get my mind around, okay?
Here's what I think it is, okay? You either like the really good guys, even if they're morally gray or whatever, you still love the good guys, right? Or you love the villains, like the full-blown villains. There's no in between. If a character's in between, like, you don't know how you feel, you don't like them. They have to be either really good or really bad.
What does that say about me?
You see that you see life in black and white. There's no gray area for you. Nope. I'm all over the place. I take it.
You are all over the place. I'm like, listen, that was gonna be one of my arguments, is that he's better because he's actually like morally gray and like actually villain when Dain is just confused. I'm rooting for the villain. You root for the villain.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the villain.
And I'm not saying that I don't want a Jack redemption story or like more Jack Barlowe, because obviously I do, because we've already talked about this in a previous episode. But between Dain and Jack, I'm going Dain.
Wait, so are you saying you want more of Dain in the next book? Is that what you're saying? Or you actually want like a Dain redemption story?
Dain in the next book. I don't want like a full-blown story dedicated to Dain. I don't know.
Because
but I want it more like Dain and Sloane.
The only reason you're rooting for this is because you want Dain and Sloane. You don't want Dain, you want Dain and Sloane.
Yeah.
So that's not no.
No, listen. No. The only reason that I started rooting for Dain is, I mean, I'm not going to say all my points right now, but the way he started to act in the third book really shows who he is and who he's going to become, I feel like. And some of the things he said to Sloane really added to, oh, wow, like he's not like this uptight, like whatever, you know. He actually, he's growing a backbone. And I think it's gonna be good later on in the series.
Are you basing this all on just the 2 words that he said to Sloane? I think you are.
Eyes here.
Emma's just full blown going for Dain because he said eyes here.
Bro,
that's it.
He said eyes here. What are you not understanding?
That is not on the same level as like anything that any other character has ever said. Like when Xaden goes, yes, love, I'm jealous.
I know, but compared to Jack, Dain has a step up.
I feel like
not anything flirty or anything that we're like, we love, whatever, okay? We just kind of think, oh, he would be pretty freaky, right? And so we're like, let's root for Jack.
No, he said some things when in Onyx Storm, when Violet went to see him when he was in the prisons or wherever the crap they're keeping him. He was flirty with Violet. Obviously, that ain't gonna happen because she's with Xaden. Obviously, now they're married. We didn't know that at the beginning of Onyx Storm. Spoiler alert. After I said it. Anyways, But like he was kind of flirty. He was kind of like, you know, he would have good riz. Okay, is what I'm saying. Dain would not. Dain? No, listen,
Jack
listen.
would have good riz. Doesn't mean he has it now.
No, I'm saying if we had more of him and we could see more of him, he would. I'm saying he does. We just don't know enough about him.
I'm curious to see his backstory and how he became Venom.
That's what I'm saying. I want that story in my life.
I want the story too. But
well, then why are we having this argument?
Because I want to see more of Dain's redemption arc more.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, so you know how I made that Instagram reel or the TikTok a couple weeks ago where I was talking about how I don't understand how anybody can hate on Rysand and say that he's toxic because of that one scene where he saves her life at the end of ACOTAR under the mountain. Listen, I don't understand how anybody can root for Dain because of what he did to Violet in fourth thing, Iron Flame. I don't remember which one, but how he messed with her brain. Messed with her, read her mind. I don't understand how anybody cannot think that's toxic. I don't have, what is it? What's the word? I have trust issues? No.
Sympathy?
No. I can't forgive him for that. That's what I'm trying to say.
Listen, in my notes, I have the things he did that were bad and the things that he did that were good because I acknowledge that he's done some pretty fucked up things. Okay?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, he was just trying to please his dad. He thought that he was doing what was right. And I, obviously, like I've said in other videos, I've hated Dain this whole time, okay? But I feel like I'm seeing him in a new light. And I love when characters have a redemption arc and grow because some of my favorite characters I like that. Like in The 100, John Murphy, he was the absolute worst in season 1, okay? He became my second favorite character by the end of it. Because I love watching like the growth.
Because you like when they have complicated backgrounds. Jack has a complicated background. We just don't know it.
Yeah. But so does Dain.
But listen, Dain from the start. Wait, I don't even know if that's an argument. But I'm going to say it anyway. Dain from the start he's too protective. He's like, I can't believe I'm going to say this because I love my man Kale. But he was like a Kale for Violet, and I don't like that because he was trying to be too protective of her. He didn't let her do what she wanted. And Jack, obviously we didn't see a lot of him, but like Jack pushed Violet, even though he wasn't the MMC, he pushed Violet because he was being stupid and
he also tried to push her off.
Yeah, she grew from that. She learned. She figured out how to.
So you're saying Violet grew from that experience from book 1, but you are not acknowledging that Dain can grow from book 1. He's learning new things. Okay, I think so. Obviously, he was overly protected in the first book. Not great, right? But he has those qualities. So if you add a little angst, a little edge to him, I think it'd be great.
Listen, I have trust issues, which we've talked about in past episodes. I think that's my hang up with everything because I have trust issues with Dorian as well. But I have trust issues with Dain because even though I will acknowledge that at the end of Onyx Storm, he changed, okay? And was like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm choosing this side and whatever. I don't even remember what he said, but he said something like that. But I have this feeling deep down that in the 4th book, we're going to find out that this whole time he was being like that and he's going to betray them for the whoever they are, the parents, the like dad and like I have this fear that he's this whole time is like, yeah.
I don't think that in the slightest. He was a people pleaser and he wanted to be the best son for his dad and do whatever his dad said, but he realized that he was bad. And so he chose a side and he's sticking to it. Is he the wing leader in Onyx Storm? Yes. And he's still like really bossy and demanding, but he honestly kind of doesn't give a fuck anymore. Like, he's still caring too, but he's kind of just like, I don't, like, he just really doesn't care about pleasing people anymore.
Also, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong, and this might hurt me in my argument. But wasn't Dain part of the reason that Liam died?
Yeah.
So I can't forgive that either, because Liam's death is like one of the biggest terrible, that is my worst horror movie ever, when Liam died, and Dain was part of that. So
honestly, I think that's the worst thing he's done ever, and I agree that that was actually so terrible, and Liam's death will forever haunt me. But I feel like a lot of characters have done a lot of bad things, and we still forgive them. Dain didn't know that they were going to be attacked. He didn't know that they were going to die or be attacked or anything like that. So yes, he made a mistake by telling his dad this, but he thought the world of his dad. He thought his dad was the best person, was trying to do what's right. And obviously he was wrong, and now he's acknowledged that, and now he's trying to do better.
okay. See, there's too many names in Fourth Wing for me to remember everything. Sloane is Liam's sister, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a problem. How are they going to get together? How is that going to work? I would have
lovers. It's literally enemies to lovers.
Dain does not have it in him for enemies to lovers.
Yes, he does.
No.
Yes. Eyes here. He said eyes here. I can't say this enough. And then I can't remember who said it, but someone was like referring to Sloane and was like, she's gonna kill you, or like someday or whatever. And Dain said, don't I know it? Like, it's gonna be enemies to lovers, and they're gonna get together. It has to be. I will not take anything else.
That's like Manon and Dorian. I don't want to read that. I want to know about Jack and about how the crap he turned Ven in, and how he decided to do that, and or how it happened. And I want to see him riz it up with Ree. Okay, I want to see him riz it up with Ree. I feel like that would be so good.
I think you just stabbed me in the heart by saying you don't want Manon and Dorian story. What? Excuse me. Absolutely not.
I'd rather have Adian and Lysindra.
Now you're just saying shit to make me mad. No. Ain't no fucking way. No. I will not accept that.
No. No.
No.
Okay, but hear me out. Hear me out. Obviously, Tower of Dawn, when we had Kale and Irene, we had their story. Adian and Lysindra's story would have been way better instead of Kale and Irene's.
Yeah, I like Irene. I don't really care for Kale. So I liked Irene, like her story and stuff, but Kale, I was like, it's kind of boring. But yeah, Adian and Lysindra's I would choose over them, but not over Manon and Dorian. That was a wild take, and I don't know if I can forgive you for that.
There are a lot of things that you can't forgive me for, yet we're still friends and we still have this podcast, okay? The fact that we survived the Rowan versus Dorian.
You can literally survive anything at that point.
No, seriously. I could say anything and you would be okay, and you could say anything and I would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Be a little sad at first, but we would make it through. We might need some serious therapy, but you know what? That's okay.
Anyways.
Couples therapy.
No, for real.
Could you imagine us in couples therapy?
We'd be laughing the whole time.
The therapist would be like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah, I'd be like, you guys have too many issues.
Anyways,
yes, I would be interested to see a Jack and Ree story, enemies to lovers. It'd be so toxic, but it'd be so good to read about, right?
Why would it be toxic?
Because it would be. They're both like two very strong-headed people. It would just
Cassian and Nesta.
I know. Oh, true. But Cassian is like, he has a lightheartedness to him. He has humor, and he is like kind of like a golden retriever vibe, right? He's a comedic relief, right?
I mean, he
Jack is locked up in a prison for trying to kill multiple people and becoming Venom.
Dain should be right there with him.
What? That was wild.
Dain killed Liam, did he not?
He didn't kill Liam. He gave information that led to Liam's death, but he didn't want that to happen. He's not a killer. He was just misguided by his dad and by the way he was raised. But you have to acknowledge that after he realized, wow, that's kind of fucked up, the way I was raised, like the way they think, that he changed his mind.
I still don't trust it. The reason why I have trust issues is because of the books that I read.
No, for real. Yeah.
Like, and Dain is going to be a part of that in the next book.
He's not going to betray them. And I'm pretty sure Rebecca Yarros says that she has a soft spot for Dain. So he's not going to do anything else to make us hate him even more.
But didn't she say one of her favorite characters is going to die in the next book?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Dain? Because I'd be okay with that.
I wouldn't. I want to see the Dain and Sloane dynamic. I want to see Dain sticking up to his father and being like, you're fucked up in the head. Like, something is so wrong with you. Like,
his dad is probably Venom. Let's be real.
There's honestly so many things in that book that's just like, I don't even know where to start. So
everybody's Venom but that one quadrant. Not really, but
yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things we still don't know about the series, but
listen, I'm basing all of my argument because I don't remember the rest of Fourth Wing on the one seed that Rebecca Yarros would not put Jack in the series so much in the first book and second book, and then not at all in the third book if he wasn't important. Okay, in the third book, we literally only saw him for one scene, and it was when Violet went down to the prison, wherever the crap he was kept, and he basically was like, I thought of like when like he was kind of sly, he was kind of mysterious, he was kind of like he was flirty, okay? And we only saw him for the one scene. Listen, we like that. We like the villain. I don't think he's the villain anymore. So there's redemption for him because even though he's Venom, doesn't mean he's the villain.
I feel like Jack's story is going to be similar to Dain's, in which they were both told one thing and like they went one path because of who raised them or who taught them different things, and then they'll choose a path on their own. The older they get, the longer the series goes on.
Yeah, which is why then we would get a Jack and Rhea, which would be way better than Dain and Sloane. Because yes, it would be toxic, but it would be good toxic.
It'd be freaky for sure.
Yeah, like Cassian and Nesta, you love that.
Yeah. But I think that Dain and Sloane's banter would be better. I think Jack and Rhea would threaten each other more, for sure. But I think Dain and Sloane would have more banter longer.
I feel like Sloane has to have mental issues if she's willing to like the guy that was part of her brother's death. You know?
Yeah. But she doesn't like him, or she says she doesn't like him, right now. Like, they're still bantering back and forth. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like she's going to see who he actually is apart from his father. And then she'll have a change of heart.
I don't trust it. He's like the teacher's pet, the goody-goody,
He was in the first book, but then he left and he went with Xaden and Violet and all the others. to Xaden's homeland, wherever that is, and he's fighting with them now. He went on the trip with them.
Okay, but you can't change that much in such a short period of time.
It's like multiple. I mean, the books aren't like one, or it doesn't take place like right after the other. Like there's still like time in between the books.
Yes, I know, but you can't. He grew up for what is it? 18 years, 20 years? What is it? I don't know how. Something like that. Because he's what, a second year, third year?
It's a third year.
Okay, he grew 20 years. I'm gonna say 20 years. 21. We're gonna act like it's college. 21. Okay, because it is college. Anyways, I'm confused. 21. For 21 years, he was taught one thing, and he thought one way, and he acted one way. You can't all of a sudden, within a couple months, completely change your train of thought, completely change who you are. You just can't do that. You can't change your mindset. You can't do that.
It's funny you say that because that means Jack can't change either. He's a sociopath.
Jack was always, I'm not saying that Jack's not going to be not bad. Jack has always been bad.
Okay, so you're saying that he can't change at all. He can't like have a heart or anything?
He has a heart. What I'm saying is he embraces his bad side. That's what I'm saying. He's like Rhysand. I just said Rhysand.
Also, no way you just compared Jack to Rhysand. That was crazy.
No, wait, better comparison. Castile. Castile is on the enemy side, technically. Technically. Yes. Okay.
No. You cannot compare my number one. That's closer. Because you cannot compare my number one book boyfriend to Jack Barlowe. That's insulting.
Castile is not your number one.
Yeah, he is.
I thought Cassian was.
No, I changed it to Castile.
Oh. LOL. Okay. Well, that's cute. No. Like, okay. You know how Rhysand embraces his night court and the dark side of himself, okay? Jack is doing that right now. He's embracing his dark side right now.
You cannot compare Rhysand to Jack. Rhysand is pretending to be bad.
I'm comparing it like Rhysand.
Hurting you to say Rhysand.
Stop! Rhysand to Jack like Dain is to Tamlin.
No. Also, side note, speaking of Tamlin, I was going to tell you this. Someone commented on a video and was like, I prefer Tamlin over Rhysand. I think it was rage bait, but like still. And then I saw that same person comment on someone else and say the same exact thing. And I was like, don't even joke about that.
What is that person on?
I don't know. It was wild.
Dude, okay.
Anyways.
Like, all the people commenting on our thing that's like Rhysand is toxic. It's like, I'm sorry. No?
Yeah,
no.
I'm a Nesta stan, and I still think Rhysand's amazing. So we're gonna leave it at that.
I could get into all these people and tell them why they're wrong, but that's not what we're talking about today. That can be next episode.
You comparing Dain and Tamlin, a little insulting, but also I said that Tamlin could be redeemed, and I also think Dain can be redeemed. And Dain has more chance of being redeemed and having like an enemies to lovers or a great relationship than Tamlin is. So if I was going that hard for Tamlin, I definitely believe Dain can have this.
Listen, I'm not saying that Dain can't be redeemed. I'm just saying I don't want to see it. That's what I'm saying. I didn't like him from the beginning. I never liked him from the beginning because I trusted you.
Yeah, I didn't like him in the beginning either, but I've grown to like him in Onyx Storm. I mean, I didn't even like him in Iron Flame, but Onyx Storm, it was a whole different story.
No, listen, when all of book talk, all of the book world at the end of Onyx Storm was like, Dain, oh my gosh. I'm like,
You just aren't getting the hype with the words he said and how he said it. It's just like, damn.
Let's also look up what he looks like, because I don't even know. I didn't even put that much effort to even think what he looked like.
He's not ugly.
I think he's ugly. Let's see.
You don't even know what he looks like.
That's what I'm saying. Let me see. Well, this picture, he looks like a baby. That picture, he definitely doesn't look like a baby.
You're just going to show the most ugly picture of him.
No, I'm not. Look at that picture.
Yeah, he's not ugly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but his actions speak louder than what he looks like.
Oh my god, we need to look at the whole series, not just the parts that are bad. I acknowledge he's done some pretty messed up things, okay? Obviously. But I think he can be redeemed based off of the stuff in Onyx Storm. You're basing the stuff on Jack Barlowe off of your own imagination.
No. We both read that he was part of Liam's death, that he messed with Violet's mind.
Yeah, I know that.
Read her thoughts without her permission.
Know, but that was the first book. We're 3 books later, right? There's still 2 more books left at least. And he's already starting his redemption arc. It's gonna be good. And you're not even acknowledging that Jack Barlowe is a terrible person. You're like, yeah, he pushed someone off, he killed people, but like whatever. You're not seeing that it was like terrible. Like,
okay, listen. Did Mira not tell Violet that before she crossed the parapet, that she needs to be tough and push other people off? That's how you get across. Jack was just listening.
Oh my god.
I would do that.
I would like to remind you and have you think back to when Jack Barlowe came back alive and how mad you were. We were pissed off. You were going off. I think I still have the clip if you want me to go look for it. Okay.
No, okay. I understand. I said that at the beginning. I'm not saying that I did not like him. I didn't. I literally hated his guts. But for sake of argument, I'm arguing for Jack. Not because I really want the redemption. Well, I do. But because I really don't want Dain. Okay, if I was to pick, if they were both standing in front of me, I'd be like, I'm choosing the villain who I know is going to own up to his bad actions versus Dain, who is wishy-washy. Okay, listen, I can't do the wishy-washy. He's going to betray me the next moment I turn my eyes around. Okay, I can't do wishy-washy. No,
he was wishy-washy, but now I think he knows what side he's on.
He's too wishy-washy. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Jack,
it's like Lucien. Lucien was wishy-washy. I can't do it.
And I still like Lucien. They're misunderstood.
No,
see them like not. I see them.
They're not misunderstood. They're wrong.
See, this is why you either see a villain or a good guy. There's no in between, no gray area for you. You can't think outside the box. You either want the villain or you want the hero.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, I want the villain.
Okay. I love the gray area. I love a complicated character. Because there's so much to them.
You have to have an argument for every character, no matter what they did. No matter what they've done, you always have to have an argument. Like, how could any person argue for Tamlin? You did.
They're not 2D characters. They have to be complicated. There's so much more to them. And it's so fun to try to figure out what that is.
No, but actions speak so much louder than words.
I agree. And Dain saying, eyes here.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. His words are not.
No.
His actions prove.
Doesn't he follow Sloane back to Okay, says the girl who wants to read Haunting Adeline, which is literally about his stalker. Okay. Don't even go there. He followed Sloane back to wherever they were going to protect her.
Stalker.
Don't even.
I'm just doing this partly because it just gets you so riled up and it's so funny.
I know.
This is why I don't come with notes, because I just know that I can say things and it's just going to rile you up. It's funny. Listen, again, I'm not saying that Jack is a good person. I understand that he did tons of terrible things. I understand that. He's doing his time right now. He did the crime. He's doing his time, okay? Once he's done doing his time, all right, because bro basically can't die, I guess. He literally is alive. You know, that happened. But he's doing his time. He's learning. He could be growing, okay? He's embracing his dark side, all right? All right? All right. So, you know, I think knowing you two, I don't understand why you don't like that.
I do like that. And I don't want Jack to die. And I want him to have more of a story. And I want him and Rita to get together because that'd be insane. But if we had to choose which character we would prefer to have a redemption arc, I'm going to say Dain. I want both of their stories, okay? But Dain has more, I don't know if meat is the right word to his character right now. And like yeah.
Even if, okay, whatever. If we have it looks like we're going to have a Dain and Sloane situation, all right? Fine. I can deal with that. But the relationship, the dynamic is not going to be dynamicing, all right? It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be on Xaden and Violet level, okay? There's not going to be lightning bolts, all right? There's not going to be all that stuff.
Okay, well, I don't think it's going to be like Xaden and Violet either. I think it's going to be a lot more banter. Like, a lot more banter. Like, instead of the tension, the eye contact, like, I don't know, like, Violet and Xaden were so intense, and it was truly enemies to lovers. Like, she feared him, and then, you know, the tension really started and stuff. But Dain and Sloane, they don't fear each other. Sloane doesn't like Dain. They're annoyed by each other, but yet there's something there and the banter is there. So it's not going to be like Xaden and Violet, and I wouldn't want that. I don't want the same type of relationship in the same series with different couples. Like, I want it to be unique. And along that lines with Jack and Ree, it'd be even more enemies to lovers, even more like craziness, toxicity, and that would be unique to them too.
I'm just saying, I feel like the level is not going to be high enough for me personally.
Well, also, they're not the main characters, so it can't be better or the same as Xaden and Violet, because that would be like dumb, because Xaden and Violet are the main couple.
I guess.
It's like that TikTok sound, you can't outdo the doer. Like, you can't be Xaden and Violet.
No. Listen. Oh gosh, that's really loud. This is making me think of what I just sent you. We can really tell the difference between, not what I just sent you last night, what Emma and I are, okay? So, your toxic trait based on your favorite book boyfriend. Here's Emma's. Tell me this is true or not true. Which I think is why you like Dain so much better than you like Jack. Okay? You flirt during arguments and genuinely think that counts as conflict resolution.
Wasn't that yours?
That's Castile. You just said Castile.
Oh, yeah.
But Cassian's,
I go back and forth between Castile and Cassian.
You need constant validation, but will physically fight someone for trying to give it to you.
I feel attacked in both ways. I feel like that really sums up because those are my top 2 book boyfriends. So, love that for me.
Well, mine, let's read mine.
Because is it Rhysand or Azriel?
Do you want Xaden too? Do you want me to read Xaden's too?
Oh, true.
Azriel isn't on here because we don't have a book about him yet.
Oh, I guess.
Xaden's, you're attracted to men who have enough red flags to be a carnival, but it's okay because he smirks a lot and wields shadows. I feel like that one's less true for you.
Yeah, I feel like that one's more true for you.
Okay. Rowan, you think it's romantic when a man growls at you and calls it affection. Bonus points. Bonus points if he scars you during training. That's not true.
You said that it made her better.
I don't think Rhysand, he is my top book boyfriend, but I don't think that this is true to me.
What does it say?
You flirt by using a mysterious smirk and one well-timed mental massage. You think sarcasm is a valid love language and 100% fake your death just to make an entrance.
Yeah, I feel like that's more me than you.
Yup, that's what I was just gonna say.
I think it's so funny because we're so alike, but yet we're so different. Like, I want someone to bully me and I need to be like sarcastic with them and stuff. You do not.
But at the same time, you have a problem with Rowan bullying Aelin.
I have a problem with Rowan abusing Aelin.
It wasn't, no. They were training.
He punched her in the face.
Because they were training.
Her. I need like a playful bully, and I need,
I'm going to read Dorian's too.
I don't want someone to tell me, oh, you would have been better off to the world if you died when you were a kid. Like, no.
I'd be like, yeah, I felt that. I actually think that. Thanks you for putting my emotions in reality.
That'd be worse. I'd be like, damn, so it's not just in my head.
That's what I'm saying. See, it makes you be a better person. Okay, I'm going to read Dorian's. You romanticize emotional damage because he reads books and has a tragic past. So, Emma.
Why are all of these me?
What?
Why are all of these literally for me? Like, why do I relate to almost all of these?
Because, Emma, they're the villain, like Jack Barlowe.
Dorian's not a villain.
We're not getting into this again.
Cassian's not a villain.
Cassian's not.
No. He never has been.
Dorian definitely was. We're not getting into this again.
By the Vogue, okay? And even then, he still had a golden retriever personality to flirt with Manon. Okay.
You make your decisions based off of one sentence that the character says.
I do not. That has like a big part in being like, wow, I really like this character. But it doesn't make the full decision. Also, I'm a romantic, okay? I love these crazy ass lines that make me be like, oh my god, so like this is gonna happen in the couple and this is gonna happen and all the things. So
are you saying that I'm not? I am too.
I know, but I feel like it's different. Because I'll be like, oh my god, he'll bleed whatever color she wants him to. Or, oh my god, he said eyes here, like that's so intense. And you're like, I feel like you want like the poetic words. Like the full-blown love confessions and stuff.
Yeah. Yes, love. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the armor that holds you. What? Yes.
Yeah.
And the sheets that get to sleep with you at night. Yes. Tell me that. Yes.
Yeah. But in real life, I don't know. I honestly don't know how I'd react to something like that. If I get the ick or not. That's like the same with like Kai Azer's words. I'm just like, I don't know. Sarcasm is my love language. If they're sarcastic with me and say like crazy ass shit, yeah.
That would be Jack Barlowe.
No,
Dain would not say crazy things. He would be the more poetic type. Jack Barlowe would say the sarcastic, like, flirty thing, because he did to Violet already.
I feel like Dain in book 1 would be the poetic type. Dain in book 3 and beyond, no. I think he's growing an edge. I think he's growing a backbone. I think he's gonna be more crazy.
He still has it deep in his heart, I think. The book 1 Dain. I don't trust it yet.
I think he's gonna be a mix of both.
And I don't
like poetic words and like how he would be in romantic situations in book 1 versus book 3 and beyond. I think it's gonna be a mix of both.
I can't trust it yet. I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry to the world that I cannot trust it. Eyes Here did nothing for me. I'm sorry.
You're saying that if a guy that you are enemies with, okay, but he's like kind of caring or whatever, and he looks you dead in the eyes and says, "Eyes here," you're saying that does nothing for you? You're just soulless? You have no reaction to it?
Yes.
That's wild.
Knowing Dane's past. Yes. Yes. Especially if he had part in killing my brother. Yes.
It is a romantasy series with dragons. I feel like anything is possible. The only thing off the table is cheating. If you cheat, there's a no-go, but everything else, it's gonna be really good. I want to see the more of their banter. It's gonna be so good.
I also would like to say, hot take, and you're about to probably get even more mad at me. So here we go. Because I don't really care about the side characters that much. All right. I really don't remember a lot of Salome, and I don't really care about her right now because I don't remember a lot of her. I didn't like, what's her name? Imogen? Her? Yeah. I didn't like her at all. But then how Onyx Storm ended, I'm like, I care about you now. I care about what you have to say and what your story is. But Salome, I'm like, Ree, I care about. Eric, care about. Riddick, care about.
Yeah, but that's the difference between us is I like to pay attention to all the characters and understand all the characters and root for all of them.
No. I also don't go with me. Don't be mad at me. But in romantasy books, I don't really care about any other woman other than the FMC. Because I'm like, what is your benefit here? Like, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. Nesta is a different story. Nesta, I cared about a little bit because there was always something with Nesta. Okay. But like, Everlane from Quicksilver, like, could care less. Okay. Whatever, what's her name? Twyla or something from Blood and Ash, could care less. Okay. Whatever Kieran's sister's name is. See, I just don't.
Okay. I feel like it depends on the books because like Throne of Glass, obviously I care about Manon, but you don't really?
Nope.
Yeah, but she's my favorite character besides Dorian. So it's like, and they're both side characters.
I don't understand who can say that. Aelin, how can you not?
I love Aelin, but Manon is so like crazy and psychotic, but yet she has kind of a soft heart, and I love her story of like learning to like actually have emotion and be like who she's gonna be. And I love like the kind of cold-hearted characters or the characters that everyone's like, oh my god, she's so like, she has no emotion, she's so bad, whatever, and then it turns out she's not actually. I love that.
I feel like this is because you and I relate to the characters who are more like us.
100%, yeah.
Which I don't know what that says about you and what that says about me, but...
Well, I'm kind of insane, so, and I really don't give a shit. Especially when it comes to guys, I'm just like, nah.
I mean, you're definitely a man in a nesta.
Yeah.
I am not.
But also, I would like to preface, you're engaged, and I have never actually talked to a man in my life, so I feel like that kind of like, and we've had different experiences when it comes to that, so it's like, I feel like that really, yeah.
Meh. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I don't think we came to a conclusion. I
never do. Because we're both like very opinionated and strong in our opinions, even if we don't fully aren't, because it's not as heated as Dorian and Rowan, right? Like we're not like, oh my god, but yet neither of us want to give up our side.
listen, in the next book, I am okay if there's a little bit of Dain. Okay. But I don't want it to be, because like Manon, I felt like kind of overtook Aelin a little bit in Throne of Glass, and I just don't want that. And I also really, 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 really want to see what happens with Jack, and like I want to know his backstory. Like I like need to know why he became Venom and like what triggered that, and I need to know what he's gonna do next because I'm all for it.
Yeah, okay, in the fourth book, I want to see more of Dain and Sloane, but I also want to see more of Jack, but Jack like on his own, because we need to know more about him before I want him to be like in a relationship. So I think in the fifth book, it could focus on like, not focus, but like have Jack and Rhee in there. I mean, along with the other characters. Like obviously I want to see more Riddick, right? Obviously. But like with these two. So I think if we want like Jack and Rhee, it'd have to be in the fifth book. But I would want to see more of Jack in the fourth book, just to like understand not just him but the world, because I feel like he ties together a lot of this probably, and he knows a lot more than he's saying.
I feel like, do we think he's related to that one chick, the
lightning wielder that's not Violet?
Yeah,
maybe. I kind of feel like that girl is not fully a villain. Like there's just something about her, right?
Oh my god, Emma. You
right?
cannot.
I don't remember. I feel like I remember thinking like there's something else with this person.
You always think that unless it was the Vogue, you're like, it's not truly a villain.
Yeah. I like a complicated character, okay? But the Vogue fucking scarred me for life. They put the eggs in those witches, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. There's no redeeming this.
I would also like to say, because I saw this thing and I didn't send it to you because I knew you'd actually lose your mind, but it was an AI of like what the spiders would look like and like the Vogue. And I saw it and I was like, I should send this to Emma, but I was like, no, she would lose her mind. I can't send it to her.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. I thought about your well-being.
Thank you so much.
So even though I argue about this, I care about your well-being.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I know.
Even though you basically told me to read Akitar, and then I, lost my mind, and then you told me to read Throne of Glass, and then I was emotionally damaged, and then you told me to read Fourth Wing, and then Liam died. So, I feel like you pick and choose your moments to care about my well-being.
Okay, well, you told me to read Trial of the Sun Queen. That kind of wrecked me. You told me to read, all these, I don't even know.
Powerless, Light Lark.
Yeah, you told me to read Powerless. Because of you, I read Fearless. And Fearless destroyed me, okay? So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
At least we went through it together.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in it together.
Mm-hmm.
till the end of time. Would you rather see more of Riddick or more of Eric?
I was just thinking that. I think we've probably already done this one, but I think Riddick for me.
What? I so thought you were to say Eric.
No. What? Riddick is funny, immature, caring, hot. It's like checks all my boxes. I want to see more of Riddick.
Wow.
I mean, I love Eric. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I need to say that every time I choose one or the other because I'm like, I love both of them.
Listen, I think there's more of Eric that I really want to dive into.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say him, but I also like don't want Riddick is also good, and I want to see more of him too. But I feel like Eric's gonna play a role in all of this, and I don't know what it is yet.
I wonder if he's gonna like become king or something at the end.
He's gonna do like he plays a part, like he has to. I'm excited to see what that is.
Did you see the theory that Riddick is Venom, and that when he got stabbed, he actually got stabbed, but he played it off as it being just his jacket? If that's the case, I'm still rooting for him.
But you're not rooting for Jack. Okay.
Well, Riddick is Riddick, okay?
That'd be wild, but also I could totally see that being true. What if he's the one that dies in the next one?
Okay, I have this theory that if someone almost dies, they're not gonna die. Like Riddick almost died, Mira almost died.
Fair enough.
What?
Fair enough.
Yeah. There's other people who almost died. Garrick almost died. I think they're all safe. Violet's almost died like a million times, but she's also the FMC, so she's not gonna die. So
it's gonna be Ree or Dain.
Dain, yeah. Because Sawyer almost died. He lost his legs, so they wouldn't kill him off.
No, I'm telling you, I'm
Ree or Dain or Bodhi, maybe.
No. It's Ree or Dain. It's gotta be Ree or Dain. Because she said it's a character that we've fallen in love with.
But a lot of people do like Bodhi. Just because we're not falling in love with them doesn't mean that other people have, so.
I guess, but I feel like Ree and Dain are more present.
True.
Than Bodhi is. Because if Bodhi died, I'd be like, okay. If Ree died, I'd be like,
if Ree died, I'd be an emotional wreck. But she can't kill off Liam and Ree. That would be like emotional damage.
She's writing the book. She can do whatever she wants.
She actually hasn't started writing the book yet. I saw her on an Instagram post and she's writing a book, but it's not the book, so we have a while to wait.
Rebecca Yarros. Help. And start writing the next book.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 2035 and the series is still not going to be over yet.
That's the same with Akatar, bro.
Don't even get me started. I need to read about Azrael soon.
Yeah.
And the next book, watch it not even be about him, and I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna have major beef. Anyways, this was Reading Between the Lines. Thank you so much for listening. We came to no conclusions. Next, we're gonna talk about Azrael. And we're gonna talk about him being the Bachelor. However, I don't like that because I want to win that. I can't win that, but whatever, it's fine. Okay. Bye.
Bye.